when it says the word fragrance, it is trademarked. And there can be about 100 ingredients
Yeah, I even
within
heard
it.
200 could make up
Oh,
one
is it?
fragrance.
Yes.
And that's legally allowed in this country. They
Yes.
don't have to disclose that, sadly. That's holistic esthetician Lynn Laporte. And that's just one of the things that she and I uncover in this conversation that I think every woman, especially if you're over 40, needs to know. Lynn has spent decades working with people with sensitive and compromised skin. And she has a lot to say about what's actually in the products that we've been trusting, including ones marketed as natural. I'm Amy Hartshorn, and this is Green Living Now. Let's get into it. Welcome, Lynn. I think a lot of my audience is women 45 and up, and we're all wondering, how do we stop the aging process or slow it down? And what's a way to do that with natural products as opposed to the chemical stuff? Let's start with, how would you even define holistic skincare, just in case people aren't familiar with what that even means?
That is a great question. Holistic, it encompasses the whole body. What I like to say is it's body, mind, spirit, and skin.
I like that. So contrast that to what we see on TV all the time and all these different anti-aging products and claims that if you use this or take that, your skin will look like you're 20 years old again. What's wrong with that approach?
There's a lot wrong with that. But one of the things I've learned over the years is our labeling laws in the United States are almost unregulated, very loosey-goosey. This is an example. Let's
Okay.
say organic. You could have a bottle of skin cream and it could say organic on the label. Now, I'm not saying it has that certified organic stamp. I'm just saying they say
The word or
organic skin cream. There may be nothing organic about what's in that formulation.
yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just the way it is here in the United States right now. I became so passionate about transparency and what's in the bottle. And I know you talk about this. We can't be rid of all chemicals, all
Right.
toxins. It's truly about reducing that toxic load
Absolutely.
so we can feel better, we can live better, we can age longer, stronger. And in turn, you're going to get that happy, healthy glow on the outside if you're addressing the body, mind, spirit, and skin.
Two things that pop into my head as you're speaking. One is that I started off my whole rabbit hole research escapade when I was pregnant with my daughter and found this little non-toxic baby book in the health food store. And I realized, oh my God, there's everyday household products, even baby products with toxic chemicals that are legally allowed. And how come nobody's talking about it or protecting us? So yes, that labeling issue is a big deal, particularly with personal care. The second piece, and it's something that I actually just taught, I have a Your Non-Toxic Kitchen Reimagined 5-day reset course. And I did a bonus Q&A. And one of the things that I was sharing was the fact that, at least in the case of food, and it's similar for skincare products, that what is on the front of the container is often just what the marketing department of that company wants you to think. Like the word organic, as you mentioned, being on a skincare product when there's no actual certified organic ingredients inside of it. Yeah.
Exactly. I used to be so passionate about reading labels and staying away from the word fragrance.
Oh gosh,
Like
yes.
that's a big conversation we can get into. Back to that, it's reducing that toxic load. Whether it be my friends, family, my clients that may ask me a question or my advice on skin, I've got in the habit of saying, okay, what is important to you? Is there anything that you're looking to stay away from? Because just because I'm crazy passionate about staying away from sodium lauryl sulfate doesn't mean Amy is.
Right. That's such a good point, because what I'm hearing underneath that is meeting people where they're at and helping them move a step forward from where they are.
Yes, exactly.
Let's talk about some of the big issues in mainstream products that you can identify for folks to look out for.
I've always had sensitive reactive skin, and for years wasn't able to piece the clues together to figure out what was in the bottle that was triggering a reaction. Even though I'm in the skin industry, I still have sensitive reactive skin. But I've learned my body and I've started to piece together some things that trigger me. Most recently, I actually had some allergy testing done, and some of the things that I'm allergic to make sense why. One of the things that I realized probably about 20 years ago was I kept getting breakout around my mouth.
Hmm.
Couldn't figure out why. And then I was turned on to a particular skincare brand that helped me get some confidence and foundation on reducing that chemical load, whether it be personal care, food, pans, air,
Yeah.
laundry detergent, all of it. And I realized that sodium lauryl sulfate breaks me out.
Oh, so that was the thing that was triggering the rash around your mouth.
Yeah. And back to the labeling, I encourage you, read
Yes.
the label because there are some better brands out there that it may say something on the label, but when you
Mhm.
read the ingredients, it actually has an ingredient you're looking to stay away from in the formulation.
That's so frustrating. If people look at the front of the bottle and it says no parabens, no sodium lauryl sulfate, no fragrance, and then you turn it around and you realize, oh, wait a minute, it's on there. But a lot of times I've seen it where it's in parentheses from something botanical. Does that make any difference? The fact that it's derived from some sort of botanical substance versus created in a laboratory?
Yes and no. Synthetic things that are created in the lab can be purely synthetic, or they can be derived from herbs coming right from a garden. And depending on what lab, the quality of the lab, there's so many different variables. But I will say you mentioned fragrance, and this is
Yes.
something else that I did learn early on. When it says the word fragrance, it is trademarked and there can be about 100 ingredients
Yeah, I even
within it.
heard 200 could make up
Oh,
one
is it?
fragrance.
Okay.
Parfum,
Oh, yeah.
Parfum is another one that's the same
Yeah.
thing as fragrance, but French sounding.
Yeah, sounds better for us.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that sounds exotic. Let's use that. Yeah.
And the thing is, while legally they can do this, it's trademarked.
Proprietary ingredients so that their competitors can't create the same fragrance made out of the same substances, I guess, is what they're saying is the reason why they won't disclose.
Yes,
And that's legally allowed in this country. They
yeah,
don't have to disclose that, sadly.
they don't.
Yeah.
But here lies the question. If you're looking to stay away from parabens, if you're looking to stay away from X, Y, or Z, it can be within that trademark fragrance and they do not have to disclose it.
That's
And
frustrating.
it is, especially if you do have sensitivities. Very rarely do I ever use anything with fragrance anymore. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, aside from skin reaction, I actually get severe headaches from certain fragrances.
It's frustrating because it's not just the conventional products, it's in ones that are marketed as natural. I bought my husband a shaving cream from a brand that I thought I trusted, and I can't stand the smell of it. It's like when he shaves his face, I'm like, Dave, can you just wash like with soap, get the smell off? That's what really bothers me. It's one thing when it's mainstream supermarket brands, but when you see something that's from a company that's distinguished itself as natural and wholesome and free of the many different things that we want it to be free from, that fragrance piece can be very tricky.
It sure can.
And I'm imagining you're similar in this. Tell me if you're not, but because I have been free of those kinds of synthetic fragrances for so long, when I walk the dogs, I smell my neighbors' stuff coming out of their
Brushy.
vents.
Yeah, exactly. And people are often concerned about the air quality. And if you can smell your neighbor's dryer sheet,
Yes.
that's fragrance.
Right.
That's
We have an organic farm here in Vermont. We have an open air farm stand. And when people pull up in their vehicles and get out of their car in the summer, I can smell if somebody's got cologne on or if elderly women, their perfume is usually pretty intense, but I smell them outside 30 feet away before they even enter. I don't necessarily have a physical response other than just not wanting to smell it,
right.
thankfully. So I'm not chemically sensitive. I'm just aware and I don't like that smell because I've gotten away from it for so long that it really stands out that much more. I think people using those products don't realize that they've become numb to it, or they associate those strong fragrances with clean or the fabric softeners that make your stuff soft. Okay, but it's also embedded into that fabric. Usually, one of the first things I recommend people do is get away from the fragrance products, especially laundry detergent, because we are exposed to that 24/7.
And this is one thing I learned, and it took me a while on this one. You'd think I would know better, but if it says unscented on the label on laundry detergent, there's a particular brand I used for years, and it said unscented, and I wasn't really reading laundry labels at that point.
Yeah.
It's got fragrance in it, but it doesn't smell. So that's why if you are looking to stay away from something, if you can get in the habit of just checking out the label.
And also, I think there's a difference between free and clear versus fragrance free, because my understanding is free and clear means that they actually might be using another sort of synthetic chemical that actually masks your ability to smell whatever it is. Doesn't mean it's gone. If you're not using the completely all natural stuff, at least try to go for the fragrance free.
Yeah, and this is a really big problem in the industry. Have sensitive reactive skin. Our moisture barriers, our outermost layer here, are compromised if you're doing things like over exfoliating.
Oh,
Over exfoliating is really going to compromise that moisture barrier. So
oh,
even if you
interesting.
think you're doing all the right things, but you're not getting the results you want with your skin, so you keep trying all these different products, and
Yeah.
you're maybe not seeking out advice from somebody that may have a little more education around, is this harming my skin? That is a big problem today, especially with social media, TikTok trends. Just
Influencers. And how did you get into this?
when I first got sober, a woman that I met in AA was with a particular company, and she said, Lynn, I think that this would really be helpful, because I
Hmm.
had talked to her about my skin concerns.
Okay.
So I joined up with that company. And through that, I realized how passionate I was about helping people with their skin and helping myself first and then helping others.
So just based on what you were saying about possibly exfoliating too much, what would you say is a healthy skincare routine for a 40 plus woman's skin? What would you recommend?
All right. So definitely back to basics. You want a good cleanser. And what do I mean by a good cleanser?
Mhm.
Cleanser that's not going to strip and dry your skin. Then a serum, either a water-based serum or an oil-based serum.
Do you have product companies that you actually recommend? Are you able to share some of the ones that you think are the best?
Yeah, so there's so many wonderful companies out there.
Mm.
Some of the lines that I use right now, there's a line called Ana Lotan, and it's actually made in Israel. I am very good friends with the United States distributor, Barbara. In fact, she
Nice.
taught me how to dermaplane, which, if you don't know what dermaplaning is, it's shaving the skin. It's a form of exfoliation. I
Ah,
actually use a scalpel blade. And believe it or not, even for somebody with sensitive reactive skin, dermaplaning, in most cases, I'd say 9 out of 10 times, it can be a gentler form of exfoliation because you're getting
wow.
any vellus hair that's lying on the surface of the skin. That can actually be a barrier for product absorption.
Oh, it's a very light touch.
It's very light. Yep. You hold
Okay.
the skin taut and you just gently scrape back and forth. Now, that is a brand I will say some of their products have the word fragrance in them, but
Oh,
fragrance in Israel is not the same fragrance as the
ah.
United States.
What makes that line desirable to you? What do they have or don't have that you look for?
They support compromised skin. If you have a compromised skin barrier, they have a line that can also be used with people that may be going through chemo radiation or
Oh,
post. In fact, the nonprofit that I work with, Looking and Feeling Fab, we offer services to patients that are having side effects from chemo radiation or like oral chemo medications.
okay.
They actually were part of that formulation of a particular line in the Analotan brand. And I love it. And the price point is very fair for the
Oh,
quality of the
nice.
product.
Okay, so you talked about what did you call it? Dermaplaning versus
Yes,
exfoliating. Do you do both?
I do both.
Okay.
And sometimes in one treatment, I will do both.
Oh, why would you do both?
The dermaplane helps get that vellus hair and some dead skin off the surface.
Okay.
And then oftentimes we may still have some clogging in the skin, especially
Ah,
nose area. A lot of times, like T zone, even women 40 plus. I find many people, especially in New England, have drier skin.
oh, interesting. And probably that has to do with the winters indoors where it's dry conditions. Like we had a really cold winter here in Vermont, and I definitely noticed my skin feeling drier, even on my feet this
Yeah,
winter than usual.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I did notice that as well.
you did.
And then also in our age demographic,
Yeah.
our hormones are
Yes.
all over the place, whether you're treating them or not. Many people, if they tend to have a little more oil in their skin, if they
Mhm.
don't know any better, they'll wash their skin and then they won't use a moisturizer.
That was me because I tended to have oilier skin when I was younger. So I would just wash my face and think, oh, I'm fine. I don't need to do anything else. But now I'm like, oh, I guess I really should be moisturizing, especially in the winter,
Yeah, you should be moisturizing year round
all the
and
time.
all the time. If you're cleansing your skin and
Yeah.
you're not giving it hydration, or as I like to
Mm.
call it, skin food, if you're not feeding
Yeah.
the skin back,
Yes.
you actually are leaving your barrier compromised. Also, you're setting yourself up for potentially having more oil.
Oh. Oh, because you
As
overproduce to make up for the dryness.
exactly.
Interesting. When you say a good cleanser, does Castile soap not count for?
So, yes and no. There's
Okay.
different qualities, Castile, and I'm sure you're using
Right. The
a
organic one, Dr. Bronner's or Vermont
yep.
organic soap. Yeah.
I have found that sometimes Castile alone can be drying for some people. I guess
Can.
you have to know your own skin. You have to see how
Yes.
it feels. It is absolutely a good option for a good cleanser, but
Okay.
I often will mix it or suggest people mix it maybe with some good quality jojoba oil to just give it a little more of that oil-based cleanser or kind of halfway. Not everybody likes oil-based. I love to double cleanse. I love the oil first and then a water-based cleanse.
Okay. So the dermaplaning and this exfoliation, how often in a week would you do that? Is that a daily thing or is it a few times a week or what do you usually recommend?
So dermaplane, I would say once a month.
Oh, once a month. Okay.
Once a month. And as far as exfoliation at home,
Yes.
depending on what the product is and
Mhm.
what other products you use, maybe 1 to 2 times a week. I used to suggest a couple times a week. And depending on how the person is describing their skin, if they're asking me, I'd
Mhm.
say less is more.
Okay, so once a week is probably fine. And what are the best things to be using for an exfoliant?
In home, I like gentle things like
Mm.
an enzyme exfoliant. Most times it's like a gel based or a cream based. Often you can massage them in. I love to massage the skin.
Mm.
I'm really big on teaching people lymphatic drainage because,
Do you use one of those bagua stones? Is that what they're called?
the
Or just
gua
sha? Thank you. That's it.
yeah. So I have a lot of tools,
Oh,
but you can use your hands. One of the mistakes when I first learned gua sha is I was doing more than I should be. When you're
oh,
using a gua sha, you really just want to gently move it.
oh.
You don't want to really be pressing like this.
Okay, that's good to know. You're doing
Mm,
it this direction, and are you doing like underneath the chin and then trying to get through the lymph?
yeah, and I always start, they call right above your collarbone here, it's the terminus or the termini, both of them.
That's where all the toxins go to get out.
Yep, that's the drain point. You just want to pump it a little bit very gently. You do not want to press hard. It's like
Right.
just almost
Wow.
just above tickle. You just want to just,
Oh, that's so
and
interesting. So less is more.
less
So
is
you do
more.
that first, and then you do the
Then
gentle movements.
gentle movements up the side. When I'm cleansing my skin, this is great to do even if you're not doing your termini first.
Yes.
A lot of times people will get stagnant lymph along the
Yeah.
jaw.
Yeah.
When I'm cleansing my skin, I take my 2 fingers and I lock it in and
Yeah.
just go up in behind the ear.
Ah,
And
okay.
sometimes I'll do two at once.
Yep.
Try it.
That's awesome. That's good to know. I remember as a teenager using something that had, gosh, it was really gritty, like maybe almond meal
Oh,
or
yes.
apricot kernels or something. Not good, right? Because that damages the skin. But then
It
my
does.
mom, who's 91, has amazing skin, like barely any wrinkles. And she's been using, she'll cut a lemon, organic lemon, and just use that every day, let it sit on and then rinse it off. Is that a good thing?
It depends on your skin.
Her, it works beautifully, but maybe it's not for everyone.
Yeah, lemon is going to exfoliate. It's known to be a lightener, a brightener, that
Right.
vitamin C. She's the first person that I know of that's used straight vitamin C like that on their skin, but
Oh, interesting. You wouldn't believe if you met her what her skin looks like. And she's stayed out of the sun a lot over the years. She was a sun worshiper when she was young, but then somewhere along the line, she discovered that sun was going to make her age faster. And that was not something she wanted to do. I tend to be out in the sun in a reasonable amount, and then I'll put my hat on and stuff. But I like to get the vitamin D production that comes along with that. Let me just make sure we're covering the whole thing. We've got the cleanser, we've got once a week, maybe twice a week exfoliating, once a month dermablading, moisturizing every day, once a day,
twice a day.
twice a day. Okay, morning and night,
Yes.
and a heavier one at night, maybe, or no?
Depending on the time of year.
Let's say winter, probably heavier at night.
Winter, I'm going to use one that's got some more body to it. If you feel like your skin is still dry after using a cream that you think may be right for you, you
Okay.
might want to revisit, is it the right one? And oftentimes, if people buy something for night and it's either too much
Mm.
or not enough, I'd say try that night cream, try that as your day cream.
I discovered a new product that I have not yet tried, but it's made out of medicinal mushrooms. What do you think about that for the skin?
I think mushrooms are phenomenal for the
Yeah.
skin.
You mentioned serums too. Where does that fit in?
So cleanse, and then I'm going to give you all a really good tip on
Oh, good.
exfoliation. If you're not currently using a washcloth, a warm, wet washcloth, if you're red and the warmth bothers you, go a little cooler. In the evening, use a warm, wet washcloth to take your cleanser off. What
Yeah.
is that going to do? Why is it so magical? It's going to help grab some dead skin that's laying on the surface that's similar to what an enzyme would do. Enzyme,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a Pac-Man and it helps to break up the glue that's sitting on the surface so you can slough those dead skin cells off. Any residue that you might have from your cleanser is going to come off, but gentle,
Mm-hmm.
gentle washcloth. And you can get some gentle washcloths pretty inexpensively. I don't care how old you are.
Yeah.
Unless you have a lot of acne going on, like
Ah,
really bad pustules, papules, whether you're 18 or 80, warm, wet washcloth to take that cleanser off is a game changer for your skin.
wow, that's awesome. So the serum part
This,
fits in where?
yep. So it would be cleanse. And then if you use a toner,
Yeah.
I'm not always a toner fan. You have to make sure your pH is balanced. Like the cleanser, it makes up for that.
So it's already balancing your
It's
pH through the
pH
cleanser.
friendly. Because
Okay.
I think a lot of toners out there just strip and dry the skin. A lot of
Yeah.
them are filled with alcohols and witch hazel. And while witch hazel can be a very good, more organic choice, I think the dilution rate of it, like I wouldn't put straight witch hazel on your face as a
Right.
toner. If the person I'm helping is a toner fan, we can work that in. So it'd be cleanse. If you tone, then you would do a serum. It's not crucial, but depending on what results you're looking for, like what you say is going on with your skin, a water-based serum would go first, such
Okay.
as a big buzzword that a lot of people talk about these days is hyaluronic acid.
Oh, yes.
So hyaluronic acid, it's a great ingredient. It does have different molecular weights. So some serums address all of that, some don't. So
Yeah.
if your serum has hyaluronic acid in it, chances are that's a water-based serum. It helps bind moisture to the skin. That's one of the reasons that it's so popular. Water-based serum, And then if you had two serums, a water base and an oil base, you do the water base first.
You're
And
doing two in one treatment.
I am, but you don't have to.
That's even with the moisturizer after.
Yes.
And so, what is that oil-based serum doing that the moisturizer isn't?
It depends what other things it has in it. If you're making your own, with some jojoba oil, with
Ooh.
some essential oils. Some people can be sensitive and reactive to essential oils, so be very careful.
Yes, I actually have met a woman in my community who's allergic to lavender oil, which I thought was the most gentle one of all. And yet some people are allergic to it.
Actually, lavender allergies, I didn't realize it there were so many of them.
Oh,
There's
wow. It's
real,
becoming more common.
yeah, not sure why. If you're looking to reduce the toxins and chemicals in and on your body, in and around your body, you want to stay away from fragrance oils and you want to find a good quality essential oil.
100% pure essential oil, ideally organic. Yeah.
I don't think I answered your question as far as what the oil does.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, the oil-based ingredients and water-based ingredients will do different things. And
Yes.
a lot of oil-based ingredients, they'll have things like squalane.
Is that shark oil? What's that made out of?
It's technically an oil, but it's similar to what a hyaluronic acid does in the skin.
Oh,
So it helps bind moisture, keep moisture protective into the skin. Jojoba oil is a lot like our natural oil in our skin, is going to
oh.
help balance and hydrate the skin. If you're using any kind of serum, whether it be water-based or oil-based, and you really feel like it's sitting on top of the skin and it's not absorbing in, there's probably something occlusive in that formulation, meaning it's creating a barrier similar
Mhm.
to Vaseline.
Ooh, which is a
Yeah,
petroleum product. What
yeah.
about coconut oil?
A lot of people love coconut oil. I am a body fan of coconut oil.
Okay, but not for the face.
I find it can be very clogging
Oh,
to skin, just like a lot of buzz right now is on the castor oil.
oh, yes.
I personally can't use straight castor oil on my skin. I get
Oh,
all kinds of clogging and breakouts going on. Castor oil is meant to draw, but I think you just have to know your skin.
carrot seed oil? Good, not good?
Carrot seed oil is a favorite. I don't necessarily use it when I'm making my little formulations at home, but
Okay.
it's really good. You've got that beta carotene.
Mm,
It's very popular to use carrot
nice.
seed oil.
Wow, we've covered a lot of territory, which has been so incredibly helpful. The tips that you've offered, I think, will be invaluable for folks. I'm certainly going to use them. Is there anything I didn't ask you that I should have or that you would like to answer?
Don't forget the eye cream.
Oh, yes. Please tell us about the eye cream.
Yeah, so your eyes and your neck, it's not as forgiving as the rest
Yeah.
of our face. I always say prevention is so much easier than correction,
Mm,
especially when you're going to go a more holistic, natural route with skincare. You can find a really nice eye cream that's not going to break the bank, depending on what's in your day cream. Typically, it's going to have the formulation between a day cream and an eye cream is going to be different. The skin underneath the eyes is thinner, a lot more
yes.
sensitive, but don't forget
And what's a tip to look for in a good eye cream? What kind of ingredients would you like to see in it?
some vitamin E. A lot of eye creams today will have a little caffeine in them,
Oh,
which is
wow.
good. It just helps with the puffiness. If you have puffiness, lymphatic drainage will help the reduction of that as well. Vitamin C will be in a formulation for an eye cream, sometimes a form of vitamin A, but it just depends the different companies, the different formulations. You just
Yeah.
have to stick to the basics. If you're a skincare person and you want to add a few more products into your routine, great. But if you're not, if skincare is a chore to you, just pick some basics, a cleanser, maybe a serum, a moisturizer, and an eye cream. Put them near your toothbrush.
Yep. And then you're good to go.
And
Lynn, so how do people get in touch with you if they have questions or if they live near you and they want to have a treatment?
so my email is estheticianlynn
Oh,
at gmail.com. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well as LinkedIn.
Look for Lynn Laporte on social
Yes.
media.
Yep. And Lynn without an E.
Oh, okay. Lynn.
Lynn.
Gotcha.
Laporte.
I'll put it in the show notes below
Okay.
so people don't have to remember if they're driving and listening to this.
Thank you for all the tips.
Oh, thank you. I think this was wonderful. I learned things, which is one of the fun things about having the podcast is I get to learn new stuff too.
I love it. Thank you so much. Such an
Yeah.
honor to spend time with you on your podcast. And I look forward to spending more time with you off the podcast.
Yeah. Thank you so much.